It's February 22. This 50 pence I might be able to sell for £150 on eBay if it's got Kew Gardens on the other side. It doesn't. This 20 pence I might be able to sell on eBay for £60 if it doesn't have the date on the other side, if it doesn't have the year. It does have the year, so it's only 20 pence worth. If you have this 20 pence in your change, don't even bother checking. This video is about the two coins in circulation that are worth way more than their face value and worth way more than any other coin in circulation at face value. It's the 50 pence coin from 2009 that has Kew Gardens on it. This one doesn't have Kew Gardens. And the 20 pence mistake coin. This is from 2008, where they forgot to put the date on it. They didn't put the year on it. So if you get a 20 pence coin like that doesn't have the year on it, then you could, a recent sale was £60 on eBay. I've done 30 minutes research, but if you look at these, if you look at coins, there's, about these two, this one was deliberately rare. They only made 2010. This one was a mistake, what they call a Yolk Coin. And that was 210 in circulation as well. I guess what happened is that maybe they do 210,000 in the first run, and then they check it, and they found in this they forgot to put the date on it, the year on it. This one's 50 pence is from 2009, but compared to the other coins in circulation, the nearest to them is about 1.2 million, and that's the football one from the Olympics. Because you're looking at commemorative coins or rare or coins where there's been a mistake, and this is the two best known ones and the two that get the biggest prices by far. And the only reason they're worth far more is because collectors buy them. If collectors didn't buy them, they would just be worth face value. But these two, you're talking about maybe £150 over the last month that it sold for on eBay. This one sold for £60 if it's undated. The next rarest from what I saw was the Olympics football one, I think, which had about 1.25 million in circulation. But from what I've seen on eBay being sold recently, it's only making £10, £15. So from what I've seen in circulating coins, nothing compares to these two. When you check eBay, make sure it's the sold listings you're checking, because people put them up for sale for £10,000 and stuff, just in the hope someone will buy. You've got to actually look at the sold listings, and it's probably best to make that the recently sold ones. So I'm taking mine from auctions, recent auctions. Some decent sellers also sell them at pay now price, but you also get individuals who try to sell them for £1,000 or whatever. So you've got to find out their worth first. I think the best way is the eBay sold listings of recent times, but you can also check sites like Change Checker. Although that seems to give a scarcity index, it doesn't give you an estimate of recent prices. Yeah, the 50p Kew Gardens of 2009, which this isn't it. That's not Kew Gardens. Kew Gardens ones, it looks like to me it looks like a sort of lighthouse with lots of a ribbon of flowers around it, sort of like that, going down. And it was to celebrate, it was issued in 2009, it was to celebrate the 250th anniversary of Kew Gardens. Only 210,000 were made, which is very rare for a circulating coin. As I say, the nearest I've seen was the Olympic Games ones for London, where about 1.2 million were made of each coin. Probably more. The minimum one was about 1.25 million. So this one, 210,000, is very few, and I'm guessing it was just one run that they've done. I don't know why they don't do that more often, and so that people can make a lot of money out of them. Because it's collectors that are buying them, so they obviously have money. I'm guessing collectors have bought a lot of these, and most of them will be out of circulation by now after 13 years. But if you do find one, you should be able to sell it on eBay. I think you can definitely say expect, I don't know, £140, but the maximum I saw recently was £150, and I thought the plus delivery was a nice touch. I think it looked as if they were sending it by first class Royal Mail, which is really nice, although you had to pay for that as well. But that was in February 22, and they also made a commemorative coin in 2019. Only 3,000 were made, but with this isn't legal tender, I do believe. It's just a collector's thing. They call it bunk, they call it brilliant, uncirculated. So it's not a circulating coin. I think I saw one on sale for £45, but I might be wrong about that because I've seen ones on the Royal Mint site for about £250, so I don't know whether they're pure silver or what. So the Kew Gardens 50p was deliberate, but sometimes they make mistakes when they do a press, and this seems to have happened. This happened in 2008 with the 20p coin, and you're looking for the lion, and you don't want a date on it. That's the two things. You want it undated. There's a year, so this is no use. Worth 20 pence. And it was made in 2008, but it won't have a year on it anyway, so you're looking out for the line. The lion's rear. I could call that something else if it wasn't YouTube, but if it's this 20 pence, the Tudor Rose, you can forget it. That's only worth 20 pence. So you're looking for this, the line's rear, and you don't want a year on it, you don't want any date on it, like this one has. You want it to be undated. So only 2010k were made of this. I think what happened is they had the Tudor Rose one, and then they switched to the line's rear. If you look at the Tudor Rose, it's got the date on that side. So they just forgot to put the date on it, because in this one it's on the other side. So you've got one of these, the line's rear, and it's undated. The recent prices I've seen, probably most were about £50 sold. I saw one at £60, so that's the maximum price I've seen over the last month. And there's only 210,000 of them as well. But those are the two coins worth looking out for. You do have a chance of finding them. I had a Kew Gardens once. Unfortunately, I spent it in Pound World, which still upsets me today. At that time, I think it was going for £60, but now it's up at £150 or £140. And I've also had a Lion's Rear undated 20 pence coin, and I sold that for £50. So you can get them. Check your change. I haven't seen any other coins that are realistically, because the most likely one is a Yolk Coin. You've got a chance of being worth the same sort of prices that these two are, but I mean, a lot of them are very rare. I don't think you have much of a chance. And as for official circulating ones, none of them come down to that level, 210. The nearest to it was 1.25 million. So you're looking at commemorative coins, but really they're not getting anything on eBay. What I've seen, £5, £10 if you're lucky for the second official rarest, but circulating coin. But there you go. Look out for these two coins. You could make your day when you're getting your change from your supermarket. Best place to look is eBay. Advanced search. Search for 20p Yolk Coin or 20p undated. Advanced search. Tick the sold listings. A while ago you could just look at the sold listings alone, but it looks like you can't do that now. They're bundled in with all the other listings. But I think that's the best way to find out, and make sure it's recent sales, the most recent sales, so that you're getting the latest prices that people are buying them for. You're only looking at sold prices. You could look at buy now prices if you trust the seller, but I've seen in the old days where there's been small sellers, individual sellers, have been listing them for £1,000 and that. So if you trust the seller, pay now price, that gives you a good indicator. So remember, for the 20 pence, it's the lion's rear, and there'll be no year on it, unlike this one that's got a year. Lion's rear, no year. 50 pence, Kew Gardens.